Hello, everybody. This is Melinda Roy. I'm the host of this WYN conference as this is the second day WYN Croatia Summit 2022. He's our speaker, Sharon Hobart. Hi, Sharon. How are you? We cannot see your video. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Sharon. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Hello.
So, hope you are doing good. Thank you so much for being a part of this WEN conferences as a speaker. So, you see, you have so a beautiful presentations yesterday and today. Hope you love this event. So before we start with your session, so we'll play a 2 minute of introduction video of yours. So, after that, you can start your session.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Here I'm introducing Sharon Herbert. Sharon Herbert is a registered nurse and founder of Power in Nursing Innovations LLC. With over 30 years of experience caring for infants and adults, managing clinical operations, developing administrative policies, and evaluating clinical care services. She is also an educator, entrepreneur, and author. She served in clinical, education, medical, legal, and administrative roles and mentored nursing students. She created power in nursing innovations as a nurse's life coach or motivational speaker, forum to celebrate and motivate nurses to regain and restore a passion, purpose, and power in nursing care and practice. Power is a safe place for nurses to share their challenges, find assistance managing work life stresses, and learn to live the best nurse life. This is the introduction of Sharon Herbert. Thank you so much. Yes, Sharon, you can go ahead and you can start your session.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining and welcoming me to the WIN conferences. Again, I'm Sharon Herbert, and I am a registered nurse, and I am thankful to be here today. I've had lots of clinical experiences and education, administration, risk management, home care, and many, many more. I've loved teaching nurses in clinical and college settings. And now, as an entrepreneur and a nurse's life coach, I'm still growing. I feel like maybe I'm a flower. Some nurses choose to stay in the same place for year after year, and some are never really interested in moving or teaching or leading others, but that's not me. I love growing. So maybe I am really a flower and I'll stay one forever. But that's okay if you choose not to grow and you want to stay where you are. But there's a flip side to that because you can be stuck in the same place if you stay there and never make a change. So today, if that's you, if you're stuck in your career, you could just raise your hand, really or virtually, and just let us know you're there. But again, if that's you and you're stuck in your career, I'm glad you're here today. Because if you are stuck and you've been dreaming about moving and you're feeling the pain of being stuck, and I'll just call that stuckness. If you want to be unstuck, you're in the right place. It is my honor and pleasure to help nurses learn to expand their growth and change their lives and their careers. So, if you've been sleeping in that place, it's time for you to wake up from your slumber and take your career back. So, our goal today is to help nurses find their way out of the place where they are stuck in their careers and let them know what they can do to fix it. So, let's get you unstuck. But before that, can I tell you a little bit about me? I know you've heard some of my bio, but let me tell you the rest of my little story. I started thinking about being a nurse very long ago when I was 5 years old in kindergarten. And as time went on, I thought, oh, well, that might not be for me. So, what about singing or dancing? I think that might work. And sooner or later, I found out that I was really good at words and writing and reading. And I thought, well, I'm not doing that great at, singing, dancing. So maybe I'll stay with this nursing thing. And by the way, my mom had two friends who were nurses. No one in my family was, but those two friends were very close to her. And I noticed that they had on crisp white uniforms, white hose, white caps, and you know what? They had houses and cars and food and friends. And I thought, well, maybe that nursing thing might not be too bad. But I continued to excel in the academic range or arena, and I kind of gave up on that singing, dancing thing. And actually, that worked out pretty well for me. So I thank God for keeping me in that space and place with words and reading. And I tell you, it has been a best choice. So, as I went on to college to become a nurse, that was a great academic experience for me as well. And I went on to graduate and became a neonatal nurse. And I loved caring for infants and teaching their parents and training staff. And that was a great experience. And as time went on, I decided to make some changes. So I became a faculty. So I did get to teach. And that was something that opened the world for me to see new faces and places. And later, then I started to own my own business, home health care accreditation and licensure. And I would create policies and procedures and help folks get their licenses. So that was exciting. And you know what? It opened up a new door for me. Really, there is nothing like having freedom to make your own choices for your career and for yourself. What do you think about that? What would you do if you could make your own choices in your career? Well, here's the good news. Nursing can open doors for you if you choose. It's up to you. And exploring other avenues in healthcare can lead you to places you've never imagined. There are so many options, so many choices. Who's ever heard of a flight nurse? What about a cannabis nurse? What about in the US? We have NASCAR nurses. They work at the racetracks. A doctor of nursing practice, a nurse practitioner, on and on and on. There are so many choices for you. You don't have to stay in one place. And we know that in addition, or it may be really subtraction, in nursing, there are so many paths, but there are so many roadblocks or places that can get you stuck along the way to you completing the process of making your choice. Many of us know already that you can almost pick any nurse, and that person can share with you their experiences and struggles and disappointments in nursing. Whether it's in you not getting the shifts that you want to work or the vacation time that you have requested, and now you're irritated and angry because you didn't get what you wanted. Well, sometimes you're going to have little barriers and challenges on your way to moving forward. So there is work to be done even after you make the choice. But don't let that stop you. Even every now and again, we have to explore what's going on around us where we are. Now, maybe you're in a place where there is something that could be available or come available for you, but you have to do the work and explore what's available in your area. So, now that you've already got a few tips and thoughts, are we ready to make changes? Are we ready for promotions? Or are you going to tell me that you're stuck because the system won't let you have vacation? Well, I know it's really hard to feel stuck in your career. I know it's really frustrating not to be able to get your vacation when you want. And though those things are true, and it is a painful time, pain, we know pain. Yeah, pain is real. And this, yes, could be pain for you. I know how you feel. I know how you feel because I've been there. I've been in a place where unexpectedly, as I was going to my 39th year of the profession, I had some goals in my mind. Even though I have my own business, I thought about going back to school and getting a doctorate, and so I did start that. But shortly before my 39th year as a registered nurse, I suffered a stroke. Now, you say, what? I know, I said it myself. I could not even believe that I could be sick because I always say, nurses can't be sick. You know why? Because I said, because we have too much stuff to do. Well, that was not true. And I knew it wasn't really true, but I could not believe that after all of what I was doing and the goals I had, that I was sick. And I know, yes, that we really can get sick. So we need to know that too. We're so busy doing things for others that we don't even think that we could be sick. And when it came to the time when I got to the place that my illness caused me to retire from practicing actively in nursing, it was the darkest day of my life. When that doctor told me when I got to the emergency room that I was going to be admitted to the ICU and I had had a stroke, I could not breathe. I could not think. All I did was cry because I can't do anything else. I love what I was doing. But you have to deal with what you're going through. Even when it's a struggle, you have to find the you that is really existing. Don't be in a fantasy world. And yes, it is a struggle. And that is your pain, your real pain. And it was my real pain. It took me a long time to figure out that I couldn't fix it because I didn't want to figure it out. I kept thinking, well, I know we can always fix it, right? But it didn't change. It didn't change. Maybe like your stuck place now, it hasn't changed. It's the same stressors, the same anguish, the same frustration, and you're just waiting for it to go away. Like your career, you have got to be aware of what is going on around you and then make a decision about dealing with it or not. Like pain. What do you do when you go to do an assessment on your patient and you ask them about the pain scale? And pain assessment, you tell them what you're going to do and you ask them to pick a number between 1 and 10. And once they respond, you say to them what your next steps will be. So if you ask Mr. Jones what his number he would choose and he says 9, you say, okay, well, this is what we can do for you to help resolve your pain. And we'll work with you to do that. Well, this is the same thing. In your career, you've got to pay attention to what's going on. What is your pain? Don't dismiss it. Don't say, oh, it'll go away. It's not real. Well, it's real. Just like Mr. Jones's pain. It's real. You've got to first acknowledge the pain, just like the nursing process, just like the nursing process. And Mr. Jones's assessment, you first must identify and acknowledge the pain. And then we can move forward to fix it. Yes, you've heard this before. You've heard this before. So making a decision to not be stuck anymore is going to be your fix. If you are ready to move your career forward, the choice is up to you. So today we'll share 5 tips with you that can help you cope with your pain and help you get unstuck. These tips can help you as you understand what your pain is and what your struggle has been. So, what steps will we take to move forward and bring you to a place where you have control over your career and your career choices? Now, take a breath. When have you heard that? You have a choice over your career and your career options and opportunities, but it's up to you. Remember, like that little girl who wanted to sing and dance that she thought, but she had to make a change and she had to change her mind. And I know that this might sound like a big job, and surely it is. But don't worry. Don't worry. I know you can do it. You know why? You passed your nursing school and your licensure exam. Believe me, you can do anything, even this, even this. Trust yourself to make a decision and pay attention to what's going on in your life and your career. Trust yourself because truly, each and every one of you who have completed this curriculum are absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Say yes. Say yes if you agree. You must be brilliant to climb this mountain to be a nurse. Because you all know it's not easy. Even if the world thinks we just do bed baths and change linen and give medications, you know it's not quite that. So now what do we do? What do we do? Well, if you hear me, one theme you'll hear me say, I've been where you are, and I love nursing for so many years. I am now in year 40 something. I'm not going to tell you. I hope that you will continue to love nursing too. And as a nurse myself, I have struggled, as I said, through getting unstuck from where I was. But I can't do clinical work now, but there have been new doors that have opened for me. As I asked for help, the help changed my disposition, which is the hugest thing. Even though the therapy was necessary, the mental stressors were overwhelming. So I asked for help. So you do understand now that we can't fix everything, even though we think so. Don't you? You understand that we can't fix everything. So you know that you can use half the work of yourself to get a job done if you get some help. Now, have you ever heard that before? Why are we doing it all by ourselves? It makes it so much easier when you have a friend or colleague. So, do you have a friend or a colleague that cares for you and is willing to help you get through your change and your challenge, and relief from your pain is coming with your accountability friend or partner? And as one of my mentors now calls it, a celebration circle. That person is there to encourage you not to give up, not to fear the change. They'll be by your side. And even me, after having my own stroke, finding that I was stuck, I came to a place where I knew that there must be some way out of this. But I didn't know until long later that I needed help and I couldn't do it by myself. So it's for you to find the place and space to free yourself. You've got to know yourself and be free to know who you are, the real you and the true you. So we talked about not hiding, not trying to escape your fear. You've got to face it head on. And what do we do now? Let's talk about 5 tips that can help you regain your future focus in nursing. And as well, you can share these tips with some of your friends and colleagues if they are ready to proceed with hearing them. So, are you ready now? The 5 tips. The first is understanding your value. You are important. You are so important. And you know, based on the place and space where you are today, you might need to explore the organizational culture and find out if there is value for you there or worth to be found. That's going to be something you're going to have to explore and ask. But you've got to know how you fit in that culture. Number 2 is impact. Impact as a nurse. Do you really know how you impact the community? Whether it's in your current organization or in the places and spaces that you go. If you take your children to the Zumba class or to the kids class and you wore your scrubs, people are looking. The grocery store, your community at church, do you work as an usher? People are looking for you and they know that you are someone that can help them. It comes upon us each and every time. We all know that somebody is going to fall or need CPR. No one else out here wants to take your place as a nurse at that time. But as well, in case management, public health, home care, and nursing faculty, there's no one that can replace you. And that has a huge effect on the community. If nurses were not here, the world would be so different. Number three is patient care. And as we know, patient care is your specialty. So we are experts in that area. And number four is promotion of nursing. We're going to sing the songs, the happy songs about nursing most days and smiling and letting people know what you do. Number five is promise. Now, you are the promise of the future of nursing. As you continue to grow and grow, you'll share your growth with others. And that is the promise of the next years as nurses. We are struggling today in the scene of Corona, and we are stuck sometimes, the community, with the organizational aspects and the service aspects. So let's become engaged in leadership and healthcare growth for our communities. And as we know, the future is yet unknown, but we need to be engaged to help build the future of nursing. So you've got to get to know what your career path is and begin to grow it. Number one was value. Number two, impact. Number three, specialty of patient care. Number four, promoting nursing. Number five, you are the promise. So let's take your career from stuck career to a growth career. Let's keep going and growing. You know, Florence Nightingale said, let's us never consider ourselves finished. We must be learning all of our lives. Yes, all of our lives. So never stop. Never stop learning and never stop growing. It's important that we do that, or the future of nursing will come to a huge and sudden stop. So we can never stop learning and never stop growing. Never stop. Begin to build your own career path and start it now. You can do it. You can do it. Let's get started right away. Regain your power and grow your own career path. It will be well worth the time, energy, and effort to grow your future, own your career. You have to invest in yourself and make the change. Don't stay stuck. Change is waiting for you to unstick your career and grow your future in nursing. Thank you so much for your kind attention and be well on your course to grow your nursing career. It's going to be a journey, but well worth it. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions?
Awesome presentation, Sharon. Thank you so much. You have given a detailed explanation about nursing. So thank you so much for your valuable information. So here is the question. It's like so yeah. So what is the impact of effective leadership on healthcare quality?
Well, this is the way I will phrase it. Leadership is going to be something a little bit different, but our way to impact leadership is to speak to them. All the things we're thinking about, They need to know because they are the ones that help make the changes in the C suite and in the places you can't reach. So they have to know, and I don't mean put pressure on them, but I mean speak to them. Your leaders should be speaking for you, but that means you have to speak to them. Don't avoid speaking to them and make sure they come to talk to you if that's a challenge. So they've got to hear from you, and you have to be sure that they will do it, or you'll need to be knocking on their doors and make sure they're passing those messages along. You have the power. You all, there are so many of you, of us. You have the power.
Yes, yes. Nurses of power. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your great presentation. And yeah, yeah, and thank you so much for being a part of this WYN conferences as a speaker. And bye bye for the day. Have a great day.
Thank you.